Hey everybody, how's it going? Josh here, and today we're going to talk about how Captain Marvel sets up the Eternals, because this has been something that we were kind of getting little bits here and there about as the Eternals builds up as a part of the next kind of phase of sorts of Marvel's MCU films. And at the same time, with Captain Marvel coming out, we're finally getting some more trailers and first looks and clips here and there of different scenes hinting towards either what her true relationship is with the Kree or others in general, such as Nick Fury, Coulson even, those types of people. Now, Captain Marvel, besides having those type of interactions and connecting more of the Kree-Skrull War with humanity and maybe other alien races, is expected to lay some of the foundation for future cosmic MCU storylines, now that Guardians especially won't really be able to do that until, I guess, further notice at this point. And over the decades, there's actually been many heroes to wear the Captain Marvel moniker, besides obviously on the DC side, and besides him and the OG Mar-Vell and Carol Danvers, another hero to be Captain Marvel was Genis Vell. Now, Genis is the son of Mar-Vell and the Eternal Elysius. This is really interesting because obviously we're getting an Eternals movie, and not only that, but that character is actually going to appear in it. Now, before we get more into that, a Genis Vell toy from Hasbro actually has a description on it saying, recreate Genis Vell's Captain Marvel scenes with this 6-inch figure from the Marvel Legends series, which seemingly is teasing a surprise appearance maybe by the character in the film. And if Mar-Vell is actually secretly also in the film, there's been rumors going back and forth about Jude Law either playing him or Jan Rog instead of Mar-Vell. We don't really know for sure. We've gotten things like Lego figures, we've gotten, I guess, Funko Pops that have basically said they're playing both characters at certain times, which would definitely be a really interesting twist if it was like both characters, maybe a split personality type thing. But going back to Elysius, that character is confirmed by casting reports to appear in the Eternals movie. In the comics, Genis even served in the Kree military, their navy to be more specific, and could time travel to a certain extent. I think this would be really interesting because it could be used in the movie as a way for him to potentially appear across multiple Captain Marvel films and even in later films if Marvel decides to go non-linear, I guess you could say, with how they release them in regards to it also fitting with the timeline, in a similar sense to how it's rumored Eternals might be in the far past, even though it's coming out obviously more recently versus before Iron Man. So it'd definitely be really interesting if that's kind of used in that aspect, especially since Samuel L. Jackson decided to say Captain Marvel can time travel. Still not sure if he's trolling us or if he was actually being extremely literal, knowing him, but if Genis Vell is in the movie and keeps his half-eternal heritage, it would make him a bridge for the Eternals in a similar way to how they've said in a few reports that Ant-Man and the Wasp is a bridge to Captain Marvel in the way they set up the quantum realm usage by people like Janet Van Dyne in a way that may be akin to how Carol Danvers uses the quantum realm energy-wise. Another interesting thread in this web is how multiple reports from places such as that hashtag show and Screen Rant discussed how Rick Jones may actually have been casted in the film. And this is interesting because Rick Jones has been heavily involved, besides with the Hulk stuff, also the Kree-Skrull War storyline, along with being partnered with both Mar-Vell and Genis Vell. And with Mar-Vell, it was a situation where they traded spaces, similar to how basically Billy Batson calls on Shazam and his body is replaced by an adult form. It's kind of like that, but instead of Billy being replaced by an adult form, it was Rick Jones being replaced by Mar-Vell. So they kind of had an interesting dynamic with that. And with Genis Vell, he was molecularly bonded with Rick Jones. So there's definitely an association there that they could use, but honestly, besides those scenarios, I wouldn't be surprised if Genis was in the movie, but simply maybe undercover for the Kree in a similar way to how Skrulls are undercover. Maybe he's watching Carol in the present day, kind of like a spy of sorts, but his alias on Earth is simply Rick Jones. I wouldn't be shocked if they took a liberty like that, considering they kind of teased a similar thing with Thor in his first film, when they kind of had to give him some sort of alias for the time being, which obviously didn't last that long. But comment below your guys' thoughts. What do you guys think about this kind of thing? Do you think Captain Marvel could be a connective tissue for the Eternals based on this or not? Let us know your thoughts down below, and we'll see you guys later.